John Radford, the chairman of Mansfield Town Football Club. You join me at a time for the Stags, a landmark occasion where you and the manager, now the former manager, David Holdsworth, have parted company. Firstly, how did that decision between both you and David Holdsworth come about?
It's down to results, Mark. Recently results have not been good for the club, and as I've stated since taking over the club, I need the club to be, and I want the club to be, at least in a playoff position this season. David's made a lot of changes, and I've allowed him to go ahead with the changes. And I think we've got to a point in the season where I had to take this decision. I didn't want to leave it any longer. So today's the day that me and David have sat down, or we've spoke, and we've decided that we'll go our separate ways.
Was the decision reached amicably?
Yes, it was, and I wish David all the best.
When did the point come where you started to have a thought in your mind about changing the managerial position?
Probably when we got knocked out of the cup was that hurt, but it hurts every Stags fan every game we lose. David got morale back. He won a game after that, but there's just been too many sort of runs against us, and it's just got to the situation now where I wouldn't be doing my job responsibly if I didn't make the change now. I've got to have time. I've got to give a new manager time to get into the club, get things sorted, and hopefully get us back on the winning ways.
So in a nutshell, what were the main factors in David's departure?
Managers live and die by results. So purely results, probably experimenting a little bit too much with the team, the squad. I don't want to get into being a football manager, but if you look, the last 10 games, there's only 3 players left. We've only played 3 of the same players over the last 10 games, which, there's been too many changes.
How tough was the decision?
I've lost a lot of sleep over the last few nights. You want to support your manager, and you want to be 100% behind him. And I've spoke to a few people behind the scenes, and it's time for change. I don't want to comment any more on that, really. But it was a very tough decision.
Let's just ask a few more questions, if I may, just on the final closing chapters of David Holdsworth's tenure. As his chairman, were you confident you did everything in your power to allow him to succeed?
Yeah, I believe so. I think David will say the same. I let him have the players he wanted, and we've got a squad of 32 players at the moment, so that's a large squad for a club in the conference. Most run on about 20 players, so yeah, he's had the players that he required. He's just been a bit unfortunate, really, with the results.
Did he lose the dressing room?
That's not for me to say, and I wouldn't like to comment on that. David will analyse his performance at the club, and I wouldn't like to say whether he lost the dressing room or not. No.
What would you say to potential candidates watching this video, watching this interview, who are interested in taking the post?
Yeah, we'll look at all potential candidates, and we'll shortlist a few of them. Martin O'Neill's watching, then send your CV in. We'll gladly accept you at the Stags here. So, of course, we'll consider all potential candidates.
What type of manager are you looking for, John?
A manager that's, obviously is going to get us back onto winning ways. I think someone's level-headed, a bit of experience. Maybe not so much on the young side, probably the sort of 45-plus side as a manager. So probably one with a bit more experience than we've currently had.
Would you even see yourself going out and looking at clubs perhaps down the lower levels of the football pyramid and saying, he's not bad, we might have a look at him? Would you go and look at managers who are currently with clubs?
I'm not excluding any managers that have got a good record and had a good performance record, no. So yeah, I would consider that, yeah.
When can we expect an appointment?
Hopefully within the next 3 weeks.
And in the meantime, Duncan Russell will take temporary charge?
Yes, Duncan said he's happy to stay on board and take temporary charge, so yeah, that's not a problem. And I'll be down at the training ground tomorrow, well, this Friday with Duncan, speaking with the squad and outlining our plans.
You're set to meet the players tomorrow morning. What do you anticipate you'll say to them?
Well, it's just to get a feeling for the morale in the camp and everything. I spoke with a few of the players today, and they all seem very positive. And and it's just to really to try and get it so everything gels together. If there's any loose ends, we can bring them in.
John Radford, I really appreciate your time so soon after what's been a very tough day and a very tough decision, no doubt, for you. Most importantly, what would your message be to the supporters on this momentous day?
Once again, thank the supporters for the support, and please come and keep coming and watching the Stags, and I'll do everything I can to make sure we succeed in this league.
And you'll keep us fully up to date with regards to a new manager, won't you?
I most certainly will.
John Radford, the chairman of Mansfield Town Football Club, on this historic day for the Stags. Thank you, and I wish you well in finding a successor.
Thank you very much, Mark. Cheers.